We had a really strong 2024, especially the last 3 quarters. We grew 9% in each of the quarters. As well, on the profit side, we had a very strong year. Our core operating profit grew 14%, so twice as fast as sales. And we do believe this momentum will carry us into 2025. And we believe also 2025 will be a good year for Roche.
I am wondering, though, about the visibility that you have on your outlook, given the loss of exclusivity for certain key drugs and the looming patent cliffs, even though that hits you less than some of your competitors. How do you offset that?
So last year, we had a loss of exclusivity of about $1 billion. We'll be about the same this year. And this is completely normal for our business and completely manageable. In fact, we don't have a very significant biosimilar erosion until the end of the decade. And so I think we are very well positioned in that aspect as well, and also much better positioned than many other pharma companies. So I'm quite relaxed about that.
All right, that's always good. Let's talk about your pipeline. And we saw a number of clinical setbacks in your business last year, both in immunotherapy, but also in Alzheimer's. I want to focus in on Alzheimer's because Anne will say that's a huge opportunity, $13 billion in terms of market opportunity by 2030. We saw a setback there last year. You've got a new drug in the pipeline, potentially. We're waiting for more clinical trials here. How much are you banking on that?
Yeah, so we didn't actually have a setback in that last year. It was 2022. But last year, we showed very good clinical data on a new medicine in Alzheimer's called trontinemab. Trontinemab is an antibody that targets these plaques in the brain that seem to cause Alzheimer. And it has a second protein attached. And this protein helps the antibody get into the brain. Because we have this blood-brain barrier, it doesn't let molecules get into the brain because our brain is so important, our body wants to keep it safe. And with this extra protein, we can shuttle it into the brain. And with that, it's much more effective. And what you can see in phase 2 data is that we can remove plaques much more effectively than any of the other medicines. And if this data holds up in phase 3, we'll have very exciting medicine. And it's a lot safer than what the other medicines have shown. So I think we have a very good shot here to really change the course of this disease.
But Thomas, the thing is, these outcomes of the clinical trials, they're so binary. Either the drugs work or they don't. And with that, you see a big loss of market opportunity. Is there anything that you can do to kind of preempt that? Is it all about R&D efficiency?
Yeah, well, I would say that in pharma, it's a very innovative business. So that means, in essence, only in average, in the entire industry, 1 out of 10 medicines makes it through the different clinical phases. And what we try to do is we de-risk the medicines much earlier, for example, in phase 2. And what we see in our phase 2 with trontinemab is this very steep and fast removal of plaque. And we now know from other clinical trials, including ours, that removal of plaque will lead to a better cognitive outcome for these patients. So we're very happy to see this progress. Of course, we have to wait for phase 3, but our confidence has clearly increased based on this data.
Mm-hmm.